This is Kelly and Ali, and you're watching The Real Deal with Akil.
Man, did y'all miss me? It's been, like a month since I did a show? Only reason why, because I've been in school with finals and, taking tests. So I had no other choice but to take off a month. I mean, if I didn't take off a month, then I'd be doing myself injustice and probably want to purposely fail school because I couldn't balance that with finals. I said, man, look, I'm trying to graduate. I ain't graduating now, but I'm gonna graduate in December. But in order for me to graduate in December, I had to pass the past month of school. So I was like, nope, I'm gonna just take off a month. But I'm pretty sure people that's listening on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and watching on YouTube, I hope y'all missed me. I hope y'all did. But I'm pretty sure the people have spoken. We back with another episode, this time the Western Conference Finals preview. But before we get to the Western Conference Finals, we're going to talk about the East. I have Kelly Eco, covers the Houston Rockets for ESPN 975 and also for the Rockets Wire USA Today Sports Media Group. Also a contributor for Bleacher Report. And we have Ali Bijani, writer for The Athletic. So before we get to Houston, I know y'all doing y'all thing right now for the Rockets. I congratulate y'all, support y'all 1,000%. I mean, I met you, what was that, a couple of months ago?
It was in the summer.
Summertime. Damn.
I was still
last
interning.
summer.
I was still interning here, yeah.
Right, last summer. Met you.
Right outside it.
Exactly. I know, right? Good dude. Man, before we talk about the Western Conference, we're going to talk about the East and what we seen yesterday with Boston and Cleveland. Now, guys, I'm a LeBron fan. Let's put that out there. If you watch my previous shows, I ride for LeBron all the time. I'm not panicking, but I want to get y'all take on game one and how the series you think can go.
I'm not panicking either if I'm a Cavs fan.
Right.
They said something about LeBron takes these game ones as a means to evaluate.
Yeah, fill out game.
Yeah, just to see what's happening. And credit to Boston, they came out swinging. Those young guys are a real problem over there. Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Smart. It was a good game. It was a good game for them.
So I'm just looking at the game one, and I'm not panicking. I'm watching that. I'm like, man, they dudes is off. They missed a bunch of wide open threes. Yeah. LeBron was because this is how LeBron looks at it. I've been watching him since a senior in high school. He looks at game ones as a round one boxing match.
Okay.
Fill out game. See what you're gonna do, Brad Stevens. Okay, this what you're gonna do. This what the double team gonna come at. All right, I'm gonna watch film on you today. Tomorrow. They gonna play and they gonna win game two, and I still got series in 5. I still have it.
You still have it in 5?
I still have it in 5. 6 at the most. It's not going 7.
I'll say this. I think if Tristan Thompson is going to beat Al Horford on the offensive and defensive glass,
right?
Why would you wait till game 2 to start him?
That is true.
Why would you wait till game 2 to start him when the score before he checked in yesterday was already a double-digit lead for the Celtics? I don't care who you are. When you were in opposing team's building and that home team got a double-digit lead with that home crowd, that's not good. So right. I really do think, yes, I understand the whole he's surveying what Coach Stevens is doing, but it's a game. 7-game series, 1 game gone. I know it's LeBron. We all talk about LeBron, but still, I can't get over the fact that you gave up 1 game.
Right. So it sounds like to me that you got probably Boston winning this series, it sounds like.
No, I mean,
sounds like Boston a little bit.
I do think that everybody threw away Boston way too easily. I think Boston will give Cleveland a lot of tough love here.
Right.
I think Cleveland still comes out okay because I can't doubt LeBron. Same way we haven't doubted the Spurs over the many years, grown that same appreciation for LeBron. But at the same time, Celtics are a good team. They're the best defensive team the Cavs have faced so far.
That's true.
They have length. And they have the versatility, the Celtics, in order to disrupt LeBron. I think the biggest takeaway for me yesterday was how they defended that Kyle Korver, Kevin Love off-screen action that was so successful against Toronto.
Right.
Kyle Korver had multiple games that series with 2 or 3 3-pointers a game at least. Kevin Love got off to hot starts against Toronto, and it was all based on that 2-man action they had. Celtics disrupted that yesterday. What will the Cavs do in response to that? Get those guys going, because if those guys are going, LeBron can space the floor more, attack one-on-one, get the shots he wants.
I think game 2, they better win game 2, first of all. They better. They have no other choice.
Yep.
My question is that can Boston sustain? They great on defense. They can throw different bodies at LeBron. But can they sustain a high-power offense for 4 games? And that's my question.
They had 20 points in the paint in the first quarter. I mean,
Right.
it's inexcusable. If you're a Cavs player, I mean, I don't care who's out there. You allowed 20 points in the first quarter in the paint. I don't know the exact number, but you're never gonna win. Even if they're shooting like that again from 3-point range, which they were incredible yesterday.
Right.
You still allow that much points from the paint. If you're not protecting the paint, you better be protecting the perimeter.
Right. So if I got in 5, what's the series you have?
I had it in 6
Still got in 6?
for Cleveland. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw
but
Cleveland.
Ty Lue was still tinkering with lineups. Like
But it's still, I know, and that's the issue.
at this point, you should know what your 5 is. And
Right.
I don't know, to Ali's point, why are you not starting Tristan Thompson? Like he dominates Al Horford.
And he's the reason why they got to the second round. To me, he was
And-
prepared to get
and
in game
while he
7
was on
against
the
Indiana.
floor-
When you're playing a team with great length,
Yeah.
you need players who are ball handlers who will get inside the paint and score. Now, when you put out a lineup like that without these guys, with LeBron by himself as the only guy who can get inside, then you bring in Rodney Hood late into the first quarter as another guy who can score off the dribble. That's not a recipe for success in this Boston team. This Boston team is built on thriving off forcing you in bad positions, getting the rebound, pushing the ball in transition. And that's exactly what you saw in that first half yesterday. Put the game out of reach.
Hypothetically, if Boston wins this series, what do you see what moves you see Cleveland making? LeBron go, Ty Lue's gone, roster changes.
Yeah, definitely. There's cap situations kind of like bad right now. Like they're kind of cash strapped. They're just super high in the luxury tax.
$100-something million.
Yeah, it's super high. So the problem with that is, if he goes, you're still screwed, and if he stays, you're still screwed, cap wise. So they want to get younger, but at the same time, they want to be competitive. You know,
Right.
Philadelphia, Toronto's still there. Boston's going to be there, a perennial threat.
Right.
So I don't know. This is a big series, but I don't think they'll lose based
Yeah.
on the fact that
Me too.
Marcus Morris and the other guys, I don't think he's going 21-10 for the rest of the series.
Because you have Scary Terry.
I don't think
that's
LeBron
been
is going 5 for
good.
16 the rest of the series. I don't know. It's LeBron.
But this is also it's not the same defense
Yeah, that's true.
as the Toronto Raptors. These Celtics, they don't want to go on rotations, and if you put a defense in a position where they have to make rotations, that's where those mistakes and miscommunication happen. These Celtics do a great job of doing two things at once. What do I mean by
Right.
that? They'll hope on LeBron, stunt, come back to the three-point shooter, take that away. What will Cleveland do to figure that out? That's the question.
I have a theory about LeBron James. We're gonna talk about that later on. After I talk about the Rockets and Warriors, we're gonna move to the Western Conference Finals. Where everybody think this is the NBA Finals. Rockets Warriors. Everybody been asked about this series since November.
Yeah, it's been penciled
the
in.
season
It's been
started.
penciled in. Yeah.
Rockets Warriors. They made this team to build and beat Golden State. We here now. Game 1's in a few hours. What we looking at, fellas? Y'all cover the team. What y'all see?
First of all, the crowd has to get behind the team. You know,
1,000%.
everyone's
Supposedly today, you saw this on Twitter.
Yeah.
The Rockets are calling the ticket holders about coming to the game early.
they have to
They have to. Yo, that's true.
because they're gonna close the streets at like what, an
5.
hour and a half? Yeah,
Or 4 days. Yeah. So
from now, yeah,
Closing the streets.
a couple streets down.
They closing it down for the little launch party or whatever they got with
Yeah,
the
right.
traffic, all that. It's gonna be
Are they gonna watch? People gonna be watching outside the place too.
Of course, this is like one of the most hyped conference finals in the last
you saw the
5-6
Astros
years.
yesterday. They going to the road trip wearing all Astros gear. You know,
Yeah.
this city is hyped for this team right now.
This
But-
is as big as a series than the Clutch City era, 94-95. Because them 2 years, when I was talking to my brother about this, them 2 years they weren't supposed to go to the finals. So this is a different situation than it was back then. Of course, you had Hakeem and everybody, but that year in 95, I want to say that's the year that Denver beat Seattle. They got lucky. Then they beat Phoenix, and they beat them teams to get there. This year is like,
And this
We
is
think
this
we
is the
can
closest thing that this team has seen to a dynasty,
right.
in about 20 years.
And I think, me personally, if Houston don't get to the championship or win it this year, I don't think there's another opportunity unless they make some moves to.
I think this is the best opportunity
Yeah,
they've had in a very long time.
Very
And
long
I think the players know in their points in their careers that this is one of the best opportunities they're ever going to have.
Right.
I'm not going to say they may not have another window opportunity, but I think this is, at this point in everybody's careers, this is a
everyone's
veteran
peaking.
team.
Everyone's peaking.
This is
right
a
now.
veteran team. They know this is their shot.
And some of them is old. Chris Paul's up there in age. Arias is up there in age.
Yeah.
PJ Tucker is up there.
Mbamute is in there. All these guys are veterans. They played
They're playoff
8,
tested,
9, 10 plus years. They know this is their shot, and they got to deliver.
Now the question is, do y'all think they have enough to beat Golden State?
I think we haven't seen Golden State's best yet, and that's scary to see. And I hate to say it, but we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. They are the champions. They've won the 2 of the last 3 championships. They have that extra gear that no other team in the NBA has. Yes, they may not have played like it most of the season, and they barely started playing like it last series, but they do have that extra gear. Can the Rockets combat those runs they're going to have? The Warriors will have those 3 or 4 minute runs where they go into the avalanche of threes and Curry gets going and the crowd gets into it. Can they sustain that? We saw that possible in the first game of the season when the Rockets came back all the way down, made it a game, won overtime, and won it. But can they sustain those runs, and can they handle that extra gear for the Warriors?
And I think we haven't seen Houston best yet either. Because there's been games where it's been Chris Paul on, Harden's off. Harden's on, Chris Paul's off.
And both need to be in position.
And both need to be on for 4 games.
Yeah, the one game we saw late in the season was the Portland game when they were both, quote-unquote, on. Right. And that gave a taste of what can happen. But
and they always
they need to both be on,
They always say this with Golden State. One can be off. All you need is really one to be on, really. And then everybody can just...
Klay Thompson on his game. Steph Curry on. It's hard to isolate against that team.
Right.
Because you have to give up something. Right? You can give up those Iguodala threes, yes, but can you get, other...
It's hard to combat a team where 3 of your best players are 3 phenomenal shooters.
Yeah. Because you have 2 of the top 3 players, 3 of the top 15, then 4 of the top 20.
Durant shooting 60% from mid-range in the playoffs. You have Curry and Thompson, who are incredible lights-out shooters, quick release. Then you have a guy in Andre Iguodala who can still, cut it
and
out.
Who saves his body for the playoffs.
And Draymond Green, and you're going to see this today. The teams continue to play off of Draymond Green when he's on the perimeter, make him shoot threes. He's smart enough where he knows, all right, I'll take that shot. But more times than not, he's going to go into that dribble handoff. And if the defender is sagging way off of him, nobody's coming around that screen to defend the three-pointer. That's an easy shot for Curry or Thompson. There's no easy way to defend this team.
Who's the X factor?
For the Rockets?
Right.
Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon.
If he can be that third scorer, consistent, 19, 20, 21, 22, off the bench, keep the offense floating, keep them going to 3-guard lineups as we saw a bit of the season, then they have a shot.
31%. That's what he's shooting from three-point range. Can't happen. He needs to shoot much better. I think another guy to look into, because he said Eric Gordon. I agree with Eric Gordon, a secondary facilitator. I look at PJ Tucker. You're going to see a lineup where PJ Tucker plays center. He only played center 4 minutes against Golden State this year. You're going to see a lot of lineups to close the halves, each half. Second quarter and fourth quarter, where Tucker is playing that 5 alongside Gordon, Paul, Harden, and one of Ariza or Mbamute. And that's their 5-out tuck wagon lineup. And what you're going to see there is more times than not, Golden State's going to choose to trap Harden and Paul beyond the perimeter. That makes PJ Tucker a decision maker. Is he going to go shoot that floater or layup where he's shooting, decent from?
Shooter, yeah.
Or is he going to pass it out to a shooter in the perimeter? But are the Warriors going to hug the shooters? It's a match-playing game. It's all a read and react offense for them when they do trap. But I do expect Tucker to play a pivotal role in this series.
I'm looking at James Harden, me personally. I know he's the MVP. I know he's the best player on the team. But my X factor is going to be James Harden. Usually it's always going to be like the role players like a Jared, maybe PJ or Eric. Me personally, it's just me. I remember last year against San Antonio, Game 6. Ever since then, everything he did against Minnesota and Utah, I don't care. He needs to show up tonight. This is his most important series of his career thus far. He needs to have 4 of the best MVP type of games to beat Golden State. He can't have no 6 for 22. He can't have no, what was against San Antonio, 8 points.
Can't have no 8 turnovers.
Can't have 8 turnovers.
But credit to the turnovers. Houston has led the league in fewest turnovers playoffs. 9.7.
Right.
And interesting thing about that point, though, where Gordon said a few days ago that you can't beat this Warriors team with straight up ISO ball, and that's the reason why the Rockets have the least number of turnovers, because they're not passing it as much.
Yeah.
So what are the Rockets going to do tonight? Are they going to look for that mismatch if Warriors start Looney, or are they going to move the basketball side to side and get the best shot? But we've seen time and time again when they don't pass and see that mismatch in transition, especially, they're hard to beat because then James Harden doesn't have to do anything. He just dribbles, pass, gets the help defender to rotate over, and that's an open shot for somebody else.
Right. We can play hypotheticals all we want.
Yeah.
Now, I have Houston F7. What you got?
Well, as of right now, I have The Warriors in 6.
Warriors in 6.
I've been going back and forth.
It's like
It's
night and
tough.
day.
Don't get me wrong. It's tough.
If the Rockets go to 7, I think the Rockets can
win. They can win.
If the Warriors are up 3-2 and it's going to Game 6,
count it.
I think the Warriors will win. That for me is it. If it's a short series, it favors the Warriors. If it's a longer series, it favors the Rockets. That's basically it for me.
And we ain't got a lot of time, so I'm going to say this. And I told you about this. I think you was in the room too before we started. Let's just say that this is my theory. Let's just say Houston gets crushed, blown out the series in 5 games.
Okay. And the Cavs
get to the finals, but they lose to Golden State. LeBron James, and I was always the type of guy that said he's not coming to Houston. But don't you think would it make sense if
it would push the narrative, especially if they lose to the Celtics. It would even make it stronger. If the Rockets get blown out and the Cavs get blown out, it would push the narrative of
Houston
needs LeBron. Yeah.
It's interesting. What kind of role will LeBron play with this new team if he decides to leave? Is he going to be an off-ball guy who likes to screen and post up and use his size advantage inside? Or is he going to be some guy who wants the ball in his hands?
I think he'd be off ball.
I mean, he did say that he would like to play off ball.
You want to be off ball
in the future.
But that's not him who said it. It's somebody else who said it on behalf of him. What I'm trying to say is it all depends on that role. I think LeBron's smart enough to understand the way the modern NBA is moving to. He can't have the ball in his hands all the time, and he understands that. I think with this Cavs team, he needs to. But will the Rockets be the best place for him as well? You have James Harden, you have Chris Paul, and you have LeBron. If LeBron is willing to be a screener, then you go into for me, the most unguardable play in basketball right now is the Curry-Durant pick and roll.
Right.
Durant screens for Curry, or Curry screens for Durant. How do you defend that? And you have 3 other shooters around the perimeter.
Right.
I think if LeBron came here to Houston, how do you defend a Harden-LeBron pick and roll?
Mm-hmm. Right. Would I don't see it happening from a basketball standpoint, nor a legacy standpoint, because I know how much you care about his legacy. My question is now, because we know LeBron James is like Payman, he has his own system. D'Antoni has an offensive system with 7 seconds, just a fast pace. Mm-hmm. LeBron wouldn't fit that D'Antoni system.
But to that
now it's 16 seconds.
Yeah, 16. Like right now, Houston is middle of the pack in terms of pace. Chris Paul, well, last year they were 3rd, and then Chris Paul's arrival kind of brought that down to like 14, 15.
Yeah.
And to that point, I think if, hypothetically speaking, if LeBron was to come to Houston,
right,
you want more smart decision makers with the ball as man on your team.
Right.
People say, yes, okay, is LeBron going to be a catch and shoot guy, all that stuff, but I don't know. People have talked, it's also in terms of what does Houston have to give up to get him?
And that's the question.
Because the people I've talked to, they said, well, obviously speaking, if you can just get him by losing someone like maybe a Ryan Anderson.
Which they will give up.
They will definitely do that. But if it goes more of Eric,
his salary is $35 million if you trade for him.
It's a good $35 million. Is he taking a pay cut? I don't.
Well, even if you trade, let's say you look for Ryan to trade for LeBron. Ryan Anderson's $20 million. Where's the rest $15 million come from?
Yeah, exactly. Are you
giving up Trey Capella away?
And that's we're gonna get to that too, because that's the one thing I always told people. I said, man, we gonna be on the bench if he comes here. You don't want to give up because Capella. I understand you want LeBron more than Capella. He's a better player. He's the best player in the NBA. But Capella in that system, that pick and roll,
integral to the system.
He's there. Remember Amari with Phoenix? He's that Amari kind of. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna give you 30 a game, obviously. But he's that guy in the middle. He's the one that sets the pick and he rolls. So I don't think it will work for that team.
And he's becoming the defensive anchor that they wanted him to be.
So are you willing to break up this team to get LeBron for a short term?
Daryl Morey is a salary cap wizard, so I'm pretty sure he would figure out a way to keep him but it would take a lot.
Right.
It would gut a lot of that roster. You're talking maybe 3-4 players.
And they key players.
E.G., Rhino, maybe a Tucker. And are you going to lose that? You want to give that up?
I don't think you want to give that up.
If Golden State doesn't lose anything, you're still going to meet them next year.
Exactly.
So
I don't see him going to Houston.
He's playing with fire, really.
And I want to stay on that because you brought out a report about Capella with Phoenix.
Yeah.
A potential max deal. And I always said, too, I said, man, Capella will get paid this summer somewhere.
And this is
playing like it.
This is the worst time for his age.
He's outplayed Cat. He outplayed Gobert most of that series. Most of that series.
And now he got no center in this one.
Yeah.
McGee, I'm not worried about McGee.
Or Looney, Phoenix has been keeping their eyes on him, as are other teams too.
Do you see him going to Phoenix? Well,
I don't see because the owner wants to match whatever you throw at him.
Right.
But people say that until the bill comes.
Exactly, and they see that.
If Phoenix does give him that max, which they very well can do, because looking at their roster, the only center they have guaranteed next year is Tyson Chandler.
You got one more year left.
Alex Len isn't guaranteed, and he's on like $4.5 million.
He's a free agent this season, right?
Yeah, something like that. And Tyson's on 13.
Right.
Dallas is also looking for a big man too, and Dallas loves, like you saw with Chandler Parsons, they would love nothing more than to annoy Houston and throw a max contract his way.
Oh yeah.
So
I can see him staying in Houston though.
Yeah.
Working with Hakeem. That's the one thing I think Hakeem could vouch for.
Yeah, because they have been working with
You've seen it during the postseason. Look how excited Hakeem gets when Clint does anything.
Yeah.
That Utah game when Hakeem was in Utah and Clint had that game with 6 blocks. I think 4 in the last 6 minutes of that game. Look how excited Hakeem got during that.
I seen that.
Yeah, because they've worked so hard with him and they're seeing the fruits of the labor.
Roy Rogers, keep his name in mind. Roy Rogers, assistant coach. John Lucas, player development coach. Those guys have been instrumental in the development of Clint Capella. And I think those two would be the first people to vouch for you how much he's grown over the last 7 years.
We see it with the game.
Yeah.
He's grown each and every season.
Yeah.
Getting better at free
And he
throws.
said he wants to extend his range a little bit. If he starts taking that 15-footer.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
For me, the biggest thing for me that I've seen, especially this postseason, he's not falling for anything on defense.
Right.
When he's inside against Gobert, against all these guys, he's not jumping up and getting contact. He has a quick first jump where he trusts himself that he knows I don't have to jump a second time and defend and somebody draw a foul on me. I can stay vertical. Right. And when they go for the shot, I have a quick enough jump to block them. And that's why you've seen his block numbers go up in the postseason as well.
So I'm going to ask you this. When they go to the Hampton 5, which is Iguodala, Curry, Durant, Clay, and Draymond.
Leave him out there.
Do you keep...
Leave him out there. Golden State wants you to adjust when they leave him out there. At least see what he can do because they want you to go to
I think you can
small.
trust him. I think with Clint Capella, one thing that makes him one of the best centers to guard on switches is he plays angles really well. By that, what I mean, he's so long that he can use his arms to help him recover. Right. He's also laterally quick enough where he's always moving his feet and positioning himself in these angles to get in front of these guys. Now, Curry's a different beast all himself. Curry, he's very unorthodox in how you have to defend him.
Right.
But when it comes to guys like Durant, when it comes to guys like Thompson, on these switches, I really feel like I could trust Clint Capella to make it tougher. I mean, you saw what he did against Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, he's not reaching. He's keeping his arms at
he's using what he does is he puts his arms up like this above his shoulders, and then he guides the defensive player to stay in front of him. That's a skill in itself.
Right. People say this. People say game one is very, very important. Do y'all take it the same way? Like the importance of game one?
I will say, well, for fans and everyone, yes, of course, they want to, in Twitterverse, they want to come out and make a statement that no, we're not scared of you.
Right.
The Rockets are veterans. They've been here before. Mm-hmm. Mike D'Antoni obviously will bring out some new wrinkles in his game plan. Credit to what Ali said, but they want to see what is Steve Kerr going to bring. What is he going to bring something new? How long is he going to play the Hamptons 5? Game one is not a tell for the series.
Right.
Because the Rockets they've been very good on the road this season, and they won in Golden State. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it would be a killer if they lose, but they want to win, of course. Get on.
So I'm gonna ask you this, Ali. Let's say hypothetically, Harden. Let's say Harden just chokes. He just messes up once again. Like, damn, Harden, you did it again to us. How do you view Harden? He's still going to MVP, but for the long term. Now, he won't keep him, but how do you see him as a player?
If I'm a fan, if I'm from a fan perspective, I'd be disappointed. I'd be like, this was your shot at redemption to make up for how unfortunately went out.
The haters.
We get it. You were tired. You did all the offensive work for the Rockets last postseason.
And I don't buy that tired stuff. He went to the club right after that game. He wasn't tired.
But this was his shot.
Right.
This was his shot at redemption. Now, if he doesn't succeed, then everything else is warranted.
See, my thing is this. I don't think people get mad if it's a tough 7-8 and they lose like how John Stockton hit the game winning.
There's no shame. There's no shame.
There's no shame in it. I'm like, man, that's Golden State. Like, you can't do nothing. But I think if he just chokes once again,
but I don't think this. He's not that player.
And I think what I'll say is he's improved his game, and you have to also keep this in mind. Be cognizant. Who is he playing? He's playing at possibly the greatest team
ever
in the history of basketball.
Yep.
You have 4 defenders in that Hampton 5 lineup to throw at him with full confidence that you can defend him and put him in a position to score a tough shot.
Can you say 5 with Iguodala?
No, I said 4 out of the 5. I think Curry is very underrated defensively.
Yeah.
I think Curry is very underrated defensively, but I think they will usually more times than not send help towards Curry to make sure that Harden doesn't get too much penetration.
I think in the last...
what I'm saying is 4 out of those 5 guys, you can trust solely one-on-one against Harden to combat him and keep him claimed.
Right. You know what this reminds me of? Y'all remember Peyton Manning with the Colts? He couldn't get past Tom Brady. He was always on the road. Like, damn, Brady got him again. And then that one year he got that home field advantage. Number 1 seed, he beats New England at home. It's like James Harden. He lost to Golden State. James Harden is this great regular season basketball player. Got to go to State, couldn't beat him on the road. Lost him in the conference finals in the first round. Now he got the opportunity to beat this New England Patriots style of the NBA Golden State at home now. I think it's like that. Am I wrong for comparing that?
I mean, no. I think Peyton Manning, you consider him one of the best offensive players ever, and I think James Harden, by his coach, is considered the best offensive player ever.
Right.
So I see that comparison as very warranted. But at the end of the day, this is all on James Harden and all on Chris Paul.
Yeah, that's why
those two need to come and deliver.
Yeah.
They deliver, Rockets have a great chance.
Yeah.
Whew, I hope we can pull it out. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see Cleveland versus Houston, and I'm sorry, I'm going for Cleveland. I'm sorry.
If they get past the Warriors, they're definitely getting past Cleveland.
Yeah, that's true. But I want to get back to that theory though with LeBron. I don't think he's leaving before we get out. I don't think he's gonna go to Houston. I have a theory though. Y'all probably heard it before already. So I think he stays in Cleveland, right?
Okay.
Depending on the front office. So he goes to Kobe and he says, "Hey, front office, what we gonna do? They got the top 5 pick. Tomorrow's very key for Cleveland.
If they get the number 1 pick in the draft,
I'm trading
that changes things.
It changed a lot. Now, guess what? Number 1 pick. Let's say get number 1 pick. Number 1, number 2, number 3, somewhere around there. Top 3. Trade the top 3 pick.
Okay.
Kevin Love, probably Rodney Hood, somebody, a couple of role players for Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard go to Cleveland. Remember what Greg Popovich said? He's not taking him to the West. He's not going to L.A. He's not going to take him to Houston. He might take him to the East. Granted, Boston do have a lot more pieces to give up. But let's just say Cleveland gets the number 1 pick from Brooklyn. San Antonio's already rebuilding. Tony Parker's getting old. Mano's getting old. Paul Gasol's getting old. Kevin Love.
Oh, that's a pretty good theory. I never thought about that. Yeah.
Kevin Love can go to San Antonio.
Wait, Kevin Love will go?
Trade him. Think about it.
They're going to play him and LaMarcus? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
LaMarcus will play at center?
Unless they're not going to take Kevin Love. If you're going to keep Kevin Love and they get Kawhi Leonard, then, hey, I'm all for it. But if I'm San Antonio, all the beef going on with San Antonio and Kawhi, trade Kawhi to Cleveland. Take him to the East.
How about Paul George? Well, he's going to be a free agent. So
I say if I'm Paul George, I go to Philly.
Well, they do need a perimeter. Yeah, they do need that.
So if you break that story, you can just you ain't got to say my name. You ain't got to give me no credit. You can make that theory. Write that theory out. Hey, Kawhi Leonard to Cleveland. I think so. I think it's very fitting.
It makes sense.
Makes sense.
For
hypothetically.
But that whole Kawhi beef is kind of overstated though. It's not really.
Y'all think it's like real beef? Like it's not real.
It's not real.
But it's hypothetical. I mean, if they get that pick, anything they're gonna have a lot of teams calling.
Y'all see what's the projected pick they have right now for Brooklyn? Number 4?
4? I don't know. I do not know on the top of my head. I'm in playoff mode. I'm not in a lot
of
mode.
Exactly. We think about Houston right now.
You want to be even crazier than that hypothetical you have?
What?
I'm gonna top that one.
Uh-oh.
They get the number 1 pick, right?
Right.
They call Oklahoma City. Russell Westbrook.
To where? To Cleveland?
To Cleveland.
Oh. God damn. Hey, you bring Russ to Cleveland? Oh my. Hey, we're gonna end that show right there. We're gonna end that show right there. Too hot. like that. There.
My mouth burning up right now.
Oh my! Hey, we're gonna end that show right there. Real deal with Akil, Kelly, Ali. We out. We done.